Hi, everybody. My name is Jack Willard. Even in dark times like these, people are looking for a respite. They're looking for entertainment to forget about this crazy, troubled world or their personal issues. And so, knowing that people like stories, good stories, I began telling the story of a pastor who calls himself Bob Joyce from Benton, Arkansas in 2018. And it quickly became our most popular topic. Over the years, I have tried to back away from the topic numerous times, but you always let me know that you wanted more. You send me information that you think I may not know about. You ask for my opinion on this or that. And you're willing to listen to some of the other topics we do, but you always want a dose of Bob Joyce from time to time, a lot of the time. And that's what we're doing in this short video. I call it Bob Joyce and Priscilla meet? Elvis and Cilla reunite? Now there's a question mark after each one of those sentences. We speak of possibilities here. This is the most bizarre story I've ever encountered. An entertainment story not covered by mainstream media. Oh, it's been taken up by local news crews in various cities, and it's all over the internet. And people visit Household of Faith in Benton, Arkansas, every week from all over the world sometimes. But the story has always stayed contained. And so you always let me know what's going on in the Facebook groups, the Bob Joyce / Elvis Facebook groups, because I don't belong to any except maybe one that I look at from time to time but don't really comment on. And you sent me something interesting and you wanted my comment on it. And that's what we're going to do. Before we tackle the photo that you have sent me that's making the rounds these days, I want to hammer in a point that I have made before. Zero in on it. I'm talking about Robert Wayne Joyce. Robert Wayne Joyce married Willena Hattie in the state of Texas in 1975. They would later move to Arkansas. They have children, Matt Joyce and Sabrina Joyce. And we have shown pictures. There are pictures all over the internet of a young Robert Wayne Joyce with Willena Hattie Joyce, like this one right here. I want you to look at his face. This was taken, I believe, when Elvis was still active in the 70s. We don't know the exact time it was taken. It might have been right after Elvis was reported to have passed away. We're just not sure. So looking at that man there, are we to believe that he would later, in his later years, transform into this man? Who does this man look like, and who did he not look like? That's Pastor Bob Joyce, who preaches every Sunday at Household of Faith. And in past videos, I have shown other pictures of Robert Wayne Joyce. The most amazing thing is, as he got older, he did look more like Elvis Presley. But you could easily tell the difference. Our thumbnail has a picture of Robert Wayne Joyce, who we believe is Robert Wayne Joyce. and you can tell the difference pretty easily. This one here is definitive, I think, if that is Robert Wayne Joyce. Look at the eyes. Kind of looks like he swallowed a canary, possibly a hairpiece. I don't know. I don't know. But I think we can tell that is not the man who preaches every Sunday at Household of Faith. Our thumbnail picture is this one. I think even Jose Feliciano could tell that that was not the man who currently pastors Household of Faith. But again, we only speak of possibilities. We could be wrong about everything. And that's why this story is so interesting, so bizarre. Young Robert Wayne Joyce and the current pastor there. To make the story even more fascinating, because there are so many facets to this story, and we're not covering them all here. I'll tell you at the end what videos to check out for the full story. Here is a soldier Presley in Germany with a young lady who he was photographed with quite a bit. They obviously dated for a while, and many believe that that is a young Willina Hattie Joyce. Perhaps her father was in the service, was stationed in Germany, and that's how she met Elvis Presley. So then, recently several of you sent me a picture that has been making the rounds, and it appears to be a picture of Bob Joyce, the current pastor of Household of Faith, with Priscilla Presley. It's blurry, as they often are, just like the pictures of perhaps Bob Joyce at Graceland, blurry photography. For one reason, it's not a posed shot. They didn't stand in front of a photographer. This was taken while they were walking, and by who we don't know, and we don't know if it's real. We don't know if this is photoshopped. We don't know anything other than what we see in front of our eyes. So it's one more coincidence. It's one more interesting aspect of the Pastor Bob Joyce story. When I looked at the photo, I thought that, that can't be Priscilla, even though it does look like her, because it's more of a full-figured woman I'm looking at. The thighs are bigger. Top is perhaps bigger. And she seems taller, just about as tall as the pastor, if not a little taller. And so I said, well, that just can't be her. And so I did some investigating on this. I did look at Google as part of that investigation, and I discovered this. In terms of an angled picture, as opposed to a straight-on posed picture, in terms of an angled picture, it's often distorted. If the thighs are bigger, for example, that means nothing because it's called lens distortion, like on a fisheye lens. Now, I don't even know what a fisheye lens is, but we've all taken photos, and especially if the images of the people are not standing still, they are not standing still, we have experienced distortion in our photos. So that gave me a new perspective as I looked at the photo that you sent me. Bring it a little closer so you can see the face better. The funny thing is, as I look at the face, it looks a little more like Robert Wayne Joyce than Pastor Bob Joyce that we know who preaches today. That looks like Priscilla, but there are other people that look like Priscilla Presley. Priscilla is petite. A few months ago, she showed up at comedian Fred Rubino's comedy show in Chicago. And this photo was taken after the show, and you can see right there, she is tiny. She is petite. Of course, in the photo that we're looking at, that looks like her with a man with a Kenny Rogers look. The Kenny Rogers look was and is, even though Kenny has left us, has been adopted by many men. Women like it. Looks kind of cool. Kenny had more fluffy hair in his heyday when he was singing with Dolly Parton, for example, and the Islands in the Stream video. But the Kenny Rogers look has become a favorite to this day. But when we try to decipher if there is a Robert Wayne Joyce and a Bob Joyce, I always say, look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. And you can make your determination based on that wedding photo with Sabrina. The comparison side by side. So, just like so much that we encounter, because we don't know anything about the early years of Pastor Bob Joyce, if we are right about there being a Robert Wayne Joyce and a Bob Joyce, if we are right about them being two different people. Bob Joyce just seems to have appeared around 2010, 2011. And was there a connection to Willina Joyce that many people feel Elvis Presley met when he was Soldier Presley in Germany? Fascinating entertainment story that has never been covered by the mainstream media. And we draw no final conclusions. It is a topic that people continue to be fascinated with as I speak to you now. In closing, I'd like to wrap up our video here with a tribute to the late, great Robert Stack, Elliot Ness himself, who hosted Unsolved Mysteries for many years. I can't do justice to his incredible vocal talent, but maybe he would have summed up this story. Say, Unsolved Mysteries did a piece on the pastor from Benton, Arkansas. Maybe he would have summed it up saying something like this. In this world, there will always be unexplained phenomenon. In the case of an aging pastor in Arkansas who displays an uncanny resemblance to Elvis Presley, many have an opinion on his identity, but do not know for sure. But somewhere in this vast land of ours, there is someone who knows exactly what the truth is. Perhaps it's you.